and welcome. My name is Michelle. I am your emotional resilience coach, and it is fantastic to have you join me here today. Today, what I want to talk to you about is say what you mean without being mean. So, what do I mean by this? When learning to take our power back, when learning to no longer be a codependent, when in the process of learning to have our own back and find our voice again and to say what we need to say, what often happens is that there is a lot of latent resentment that we haven't yet dealt with. There's a lot of aggression, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of pain that is just simmering under the surface, and it's bubbling up because now we're learning to have our voice, but we don't know, because we haven't had practice, how to say what we want to say without perhaps being a little bit passive aggressive. And the reason why this is because we've either kept quiet and said nothing, or we've gone to the other extreme and we've been passive aggressive. So that is familiar territory. At least it's more familiar to us than just having our own back and speaking our peace of mind, because we're feeling defensive about our choices. We're feeling defensive about having our needs met, or the fact that our needs have not been met. And we're feeling a little bit cross about this. We're feeling pretty upset about this. And so when we do start speaking, when we do start using our voice, that aggression, that anger, that grief essentially sometimes comes out in mean-spirited ways. We might be mean-spirited, we might be unkind, impatient, frustrated, and this will come out and will come across. And there is another way to do this. Get out a piece of paper and a pen and write down what is a need that you need met at this point in your life that perhaps doesn't have great emotional weight to it. You want something that is maybe a little bit frustrating, a little bit of an irritant, but it's not heavily fueled. It's not making you feel, I'm going to go in there guns blazing, or you're going to be sarcastic, and you're going to be nasty, or you're going to have little digs. Something that you can feel that you can take enough space back from. So you would know what that looks like for you. Perhaps you have said the same thing more than once to your family. You've asked your family to please put their devices down at dinner time. Let's take that as a for instance. It is an irritant, but it is not heavily weighted. All right, guys, we're going to sit down and we're going to have dinner. Please, can you just put your devices down? And kids being kids, perhaps they don't listen to you. Maybe your husband hasn't listened to you, or he's forgotten, and you set the table, sit down, nice family meal, and you look up and people are busy texting, or they're scrolling, or whatever it is they're doing on their devices. And this is an irritant. Now, this is a prime example where we can get really snotty, where we can say, oh, great, of course, I'm the mother, nobody would listen to me. And we'll be a little bit of a martyr, and we'll be a little bit manipulative, and we'll say things because we haven't had the practice to speak clearly and have our needs met. And so this is a good time where you can say, hey, guys, can we just put our devices down for a minute? I just want to say something. This is dinner time. I really appreciate that we're all very busy and we have very busy lives, but while we're having dinner for the next 20 to 30 minutes sitting at the table, let's put our devices away and let's just have a conversation and let's just connect, and you can tell me about your day and what's going on in your lives, and we can share and we can start getting to know each other better. We can start connecting with each other better. And this will allow you the opportunity to start practicing having your voice. You get to have your voice. Each one of your children get to learn to have their voice. Remember, they're going to mimic us. Your husband gets to have his voice, and you get to have a safe environment in which you learn to practice having your needs met, where you can learn to say straight up what it is that you need, what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you're looking for them, and the why. People are so receptive if they can understand your why. So on your piece of paper, before you do this, get clear on your why. What is it that I need? Why is it that I need that? What need am I looking to be fulfilled? How much of it can I do myself, and how much of it do I need to come from my family? And this is where compromise comes in. This is where conversation comes in. This is where open dialogue happens, where we get to speak openly and lovingly with each other, and we get to say, hey guys, I feel that maybe what we should do is we should have bath time and supper time done by this time. So maybe we can spend, you can do it however you want to do it. Maybe we can read a book together. Maybe we can listen to music together. In my family, we every now and again have these impromptu dance parties where somebody will play their music, and at different times people will get up and dance, and there'll be little shows. Or maybe you're tired and you just want to sit down and you just want to veg, but what you're looking for is time with your family, time spent together. And the world that we live in, we get so busy and we get so distracted and we get so flustered because there's so much we want to do in so much time that we have, and we try to get it all done. But having conversations with family, getting our needs met, is going to take practice, it's going to take time, and it's going to take honesty from you. Get clear on what needs you have. Get clear on how you think the picture should look like. You can't expect people to just guess and just assume, or to even have the same vision that you have. You can't think, okay guys, we're going to get together every night and we're going to spend some time together. Get clear about the details, but let it be a family conversation, because you might have one picture, then you get together and you're like deeply disappointed because this doesn't look like anything that I had in my head. But there was no conversation. You weren't clear. And so often the huge problem with being a codependent is we're not clear in our communication because we haven't had the practice. We don't know how to be clear. We don't know how to express our needs. And another thing that happens in learning to express our needs is we enter a realm of vulnerability, because we're opening ourselves up to our needs not being met, to us being shut down or being rejected or being told that we're silly or what do you know, or taking us back basically to a time in our childhood where we learned to forego our needs to make sure that everybody else around us was okay. So it's going to feel incredibly awkward, and in the very beginning it's probably going to feel incredibly terrifying, because your brain is going to be telling you you're going to be rejected, you're going to be abandoned, you can't do this. But what you want to do is feel the discomfort of those feelings and do it anyway. Have those hard conversations. Great relationships come out of difficult conversations. Be open to the experience. Be open to the receptivity of what others have to say, other people's viewpoints, other people's thoughts. Let them feel that they're being heard, that they're being seen, and give yourself the space and the capacity to do the same thing for them. But you have to get very, very clear on what your needs actually are. If they are wishy-washy, if you have a sort of idea, it's easier for you to go unnoticed. It's easier for people to kind of fob you off. It's easier for the situation to not be what it is that you're looking for, because you just go back down to shutting yourself down, shutting yourself off, and saying, who cares? I don't care. Nobody else cares. Nobody's listening to me. I'm wasting my time. I don't want to waste people's time. It was a stupid idea anyway. And then what we do is we minimize ourselves, we minimize our needs, we shut down our needs, and nothing in our lives change. If we want change, we have to bring about that change. And sometimes what happens with the codependent is we have to hit rock bottom. Much like an alcoholic, we have to hit rock bottom. We have to have that pain within ourselves so loud and so in our face that we know we need to make those changes for our own well-being. And our families, our close friends, our people who are in our circle, who are in our influence, are a great place for us to practice having those needs met. Saying, this is what I need, this is why I need it, this is what I hope it could look like, this is my idea of what it could look like. Can we have a conversation around it? And obviously you will know what that need is, your family will know what that need is, and you can come together and you can all hopefully get onto the same page. When we do it from a place of love, when we do it from a place of openness, what you're basically doing is you are minimizing the resentment, you're minimizing the mean-spirited, the unkindness, and you're learning to express yourself and what it is that you are looking for. It can be incredibly scary, which is why instead of being vulnerable and open about it, we tend to get a little bit sarcastic, a little bit passive aggressive, and we just build wedges between ourselves and others instead of happy, healthy, functional relationships. If this resonates with you, please do hit like, subscribe, and the notifications button. Have a most empowered